You know what I'm learning about E3? Something that gives a great deal of encouragement, actually. Because you guys operate very similar to the way we do, you know. And we haven't said it yet. I'm with the IMB, right? Now, the reality is, there's always seems to be a disconnect for us. Here's an organizational challenge we face. People, volunteers, church members, even from my home church, people I spend a great deal of time casting vision, trying to equip and train, they come to our field of service, they see God do things in a miraculous way. And a lot of the reason for that is that the people they're ministering among in our setting don't realize that God doesn't act like the book of Acts. Of course he does. So they see incredible things that they may have never seen in their home setting. Churches I grew up in that I dearly love. When they come back home, in some ways, the things they've seen, no matter how dynamic they were, no matter what it did in their heart, they put those tools back on the shelf because that works in India. Now I told where I live. It works in the field, may not work in Rogers County of Inola, Oklahoma. Okay? And the truth is, as an organization, we don't even have a venue, a way, and in some ways permission to implement those tools among people who look like me. Because we have a sister organization that handles some of that. Right? Mm-hmm. So that in some ways we're not even sure how to get over that disconnect. Lord willing, by the way, and since I've gone this far, there's a guy named Kevin Azell and David Platt who might just very well fix that for us. That'd be great. That said, what excites me about E3, and here he is, my mentor 5 years ago, breaks our heart by leaving India and coming back. He puts his hand, having been convinced that God's the same today, yesterday, and forever. He takes the same tool belt and puts his hand to trailer parks and meth labs in rural North Carolina and shows that God, in fact, is the same. That it's not about the tool belt and the things that in some field, far-flung field at the ends of the earth. No, the ends of the earth is Shelby County, North Carolina, as far as he's concerned. And the Lord starts to bless. The Lord starts to, where people expect him to move and expect believers to take up the priesthood, it can happen, right? Now we come to the reality that E3 has leapfrogged a challenge that the IMB faces because E3 USA is birthed through some of this application. And so you as an organization are sending people overseas using and synchronizing the same DNA on both sides of the pond where they're going to see some incredible things that change their heart, break their vision open, and now when they come back, they can drive down Interstate 40 and see the same things happening in the U.S. and there's no excuse left for not turning this place over. That ought to get you excited. Mm-hmm. So that there's synergy between what God does there at the ends of the earth and what he does down your street. Now that's an organization that's poised for an exciting decade. Is it true? Well, the truth is you've leapfrogged us in some ways that way. And I better stop right there. You guys ought to be excited for what comes next. The synergy that comes in there and here. That's global. And you just keep that vision in front of them, keep pouring gas on those two fires, connecting those dots, and you're going to see something miraculous, I think. How's that?
Amen, brother. Thank you.
Okay. That's not for the camera. That's the truth, guys. I really believe that. I really do think that kind of synergy, only something the Lord could do. And he had to trim a branch, a very fruitful branch off of us to help you guys get it done. So be it.
Thank you. Very